Big up in the building. What up? How about the boys? The Dallas Cowboys, that is. What up, what up? What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up, what up, what up? They bring the noise. What up? I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up?
We back.
Oh, I just spread.
Did you just spray everywhere?
Yeah, I just sprayed everywhere.
You know what? I'm glad that we waited, about an hour until we went live because I was a little bit heated at the end there. I was a little silent. I was a little disheveled. I think my neutral sevens hit since then. So I'm feeling a little bit less
I felt
angry.
I felt for a moment there you were about to say, I don't want a podcast anymore.
No, I would never say that. I would never say I don't want a podcast, but I will have moments when you guys need to carry it because I will just be mad.
Yeah.
Like you gotta think. You guys, I know you guys are bandwagon boys, you guys are Cowboys fans. When they're losing,
we've never promised to be anything more.
Right? Exactly. But when they lose, it actually, especially today, because I lost in a bunch of fantasy leagues. When I lose in fantasy football and the Cowboys lose, I generally am usually in a bad mood after.
I mean, you're going to lose this weekend versus me.
I'm losing to you and I'm losing to my other big league because I had Dak as quarterback.
And if you're not careful, you're going to lose me.
So I will be like in those games. And it's not even the fact that we lost. It's that we just got we had our fucking asses handed to us.
Yeah, the loss is something I'm okay with. I wasn't expecting it this game, but it was expected. But it was the complete and utter failure until the fourth quarter garbage
of being
time.
able to do anything.
Yeah.
So let's just do a shout out for our socials real quick. At Cowboys CanFan on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. The main three, and then
hey.
Oh, is this our webpage?
This is our website.
Oh shit! And now for everything Cowboys CanFan podcast or CanFan socials, you just go to cowboyscanfan.com. It is up. It is rolling. It's it sucks that we had to launch it on such a shitty day, but there it is. It's looking great. You can get access our Instagram, our Twitter, our TikTok, and our YouTube all from there. It's pretty good.
And once in a while, we're going to throw out some nudes. So
yeah, some wiener pics on there every once in a while.
You got to DM Alex for those nudes. Though,
so we're not. I don't want to have like an upbeat podcast really because we shit the bed today. We really did. And I just glanced at the screen here, Alex. You found this tweet from what is his name, Adam Y.
Or at Hop DeVille.
At Hop DeVille. he made a little 5-point list about today's game and. He nailed it right on the head. So he has weird day for the Dallas Cowboys. His number one point was Steele at left tackle is not it. I called that out right at the start. Not having Tyron Smith at left tackle was really noticeable today. Steele's been really good on the right side, but today he regressed. Possibly because you play a different technique. He switched positions. I
was gonna ask, like, what makes a left tackle harder than right tackle generally?
Well, the left tackle is the blindside blocker, right? Dak can't see that guy.
But how come he would? Oh, okay.
Dak can't see that guy. So if Dak sees the guy on the right side winning on his battle, he can step up. On the left side, if you get beat on your left side, Dak has no chance.
Right. Okay,
you're basically fucked. And you saw a lot of the times Dak was getting tackled from like in that like grizzly bear cougar attack from the back, right? Yeah. So Steele at left tackle. I mean, it was his first day at it, but it looked pretty iffy. Number 2, Dak looked off. We also said that. Yeah, I think we mentioned all of these really. But number 2, Dak missed today. His mechanics seemed off. Number 3, when he did hit his receivers a couple times, there was some pretty shitty drops.
There were some big drops. I mean, I'll call out 2 that I remember. I know there was 3, but there was fucking TP20 over the middle.
Wide open. Slant wide open. No one within 5 yards of him.
And then Amari Cooper.
Right in the balls. It hit him in the dick. It was funny. Before we were talking about smashing dick holes. And
smash him up the pee hole. And then what did Dak do?
He smashed him up the pee hole. But back to number 2 with Dak missed today. Mechanics seemed off. Dak had CeeDee Lamb wide open twice.
Yeah.
And just overthrew him. Like, and that's not even close. Not even close to him. Like just overthrew him big time.
Exactly. And it's not even that was very odd because they are on point usually, or at least within a fucking like.
Oh man, there usually are 2. Yeah. Those are our guys, and that's in those situations you're expecting a Dak bomb to CD to get us back into the game.
And another thing I think that was super concerning, just playing off of Dak and maybe him feeling off, was his when he was sitting on the bench, he looked defeated.
He
And
looked
that was
defeated.
not good.
I imagine a few memes going around about that.
Yeah, I guess the other thing too, though, is that when you're looking at athletes who are playing at like a high level of competition, like any professional athlete, they're not always going to be walking around the sidelines yelling, let's go, and being pumped up. Like they're trying to focus and stuff. So obviously them sitting morose doesn't help.
That's been the word of the day today, hasn't it?
Morose.
Morose. The morose Cowboys.
Them sitting around like a bunch of like they're upset. I mean, obviously a lot of it has to do with them just probably focusing, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help us as fans get excited about where they're at.
It just plays into it that everybody seemed a little flat today. Everybody on all the thing I don't like about this list. So we'll finish it off. Number 4, we have KM, which I'm assuming is just Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, Dungeon Master.
That wasn't in his bag. So I don't really fault Kellen Moore on this. I really don't. I don't think they executed.
I agree.
I don't think they executed. I don't think the play calling was that bad. Maybe on our fourth downs, but going for it on fourth downs isn't his call. It's Coach McCarthy's. Kind of number 4 is weird. And then number 5 was, all things considered, defense held Denver to 2 scores the entire of the first half. But, okay, this is what I wasn't happy with. But allowed them to 191 rushing yards. That's terrible.
That's
you
disgusting.
cannot let a team, and I just really hope this hasn't showed a template on how to beat the Cowboys. Like when you're getting out rushed like that and just having them run at will, that's just purely the guys not winning their one-on-one battles. Like the defensive tackles not making their getting off their blocking assignments. You know what I mean?
I think I agree, and I think getting exposed now, whether like I'd rather be able to work on it now, and this is, I think, the biggest point coming away from a loss is this going to be a learning loss or is it going to be a trend? And fuck, I hope it's a learning loss, but the way we lost was not good at all.
So, and we got to take into consideration, Dak was coming back off a 2-week layoff with his ankle or his calf. He didn't really seem, maybe that those missed throws are just with his throwing formation or the way he throws the ball. Maybe having that calf dinged up was resulting in that. It's really tough to say. I think this tweet should have more retweets than this guy had. But it was a good little list. And
Let's give him one.
And it basically kind of tied into a lot of the stuff we were talking about while we were watching it.
Is this how you felt at the end of the game, man?
Not so much the end of the game. Like by the fourth quarter, I've kind of just accepted the fate. It was more so the third quarter where we kept getting the ball back and having chances to go down and at least make it a game. And we just
so maybe you were a little like this.
I was kind of like that in the third quarter. I
don't know. That's too. Here's the thing. That's too many emotions for that to be you.
I'm more of a silent.
You just stopped talking.
Yeah,
you just stopped talking the whole time.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we knew. I mean, if we're gonna go back, we're gonna go back and we're gonna look to try to find the clips, and we're gonna find the moment where you actually just stopped talking.
I did, because I shut down because I'm usually a pretty happy joking guy, and at that point we looked like the jokes, and I felt bad for the team, and that's when you guys got to come into play and carry the show, which you guys did.
Yeah, and
I felt bad because
you're welcome.
Here's the other thing. I
Mike
felt
Parsons
like
is a dude. Sorry,
but I was gonna say I can't help but I have to find humor in certain situations, and I feel like because we're trying to run some sort of entertainment, and obviously when our teams aren't doing well, then it just the attitude goes down.
You want to entertainment? I'll shoot myself live on this podcast.
But I mean, the only thing I could think of this entire time, and I would love to have done some sort of little aside skit about Cooper Rush walking up and down the sidelines, kind of like jabbing at Kellen Moore or Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, the undermining.
And undermining him for like these plays that he's doing because he's like, well, Dak wasn't in last week and we won. Just wanted to say that.
It shows that the Denver Broncos might be more legit of a contender than they actually are. I thought they looked like the best team. They looked better their rushing game.
If we go back 2 or 3 episodes, maybe more, of recaps, and we were talking
Kellen
about
Moore.
2 or more Kellen Moore episodes. I actually said I was worried about the Broncos for our list.
And then you were kind of not, because we kind of talked you out of it.
We talked you off.
You thought
I think at that time they were like 3-1 when we were talking about it though.
Okay, I'm reading a little bit of this list. So this is another list that BW2 found. So who wants to go through this? I went through the last
I will. So right now we have
cherry
takeaways.
pick 'em.
So right now we have takeaways from Dallas versus Denver. We got Dak was putting too much on the ball. We know that. We
By
saw
Ken Johnson here. Ken Witt 2NZ.
Yeah. So thanks, Ken Johnson, for putting this list together. We definitely agree that Dak was putting way too much heat on those balls. A couple of plays. I mean, we're going to talk about balls. I'm going to laugh.
Fair.
A couple of those throws were.
It's like if someone
overthrown.
says foreskin, we're gonna.
That's funny.
Denver's defense is stiff and stingy.
Well, we got to laugh at that too. Stiff and stingy.
Stiff.
I don't get how would that be a takeaway though?
Well, yeah, I mean, he just thinks that the Denver's defense was probably better than what he thought. But I agree. Let's go to art. Let's stick with Dallas.
So, but I will say that the only one I really want to talk. Denver was pissed off and played like it. Obviously, not having Von Miller on there, I think they probably came in thinking that everybody thought the Broncos were going to be a layup to Dallas. So they came in hot and heavy. Doesn't mean that we should have let them ride that the entire game. Dallas needed to wake up. So you said this the entire time.
I was saying this. They needed to get smacked.
They needed to wake up, and this was it.
Yeah, Dallas needed 100%. They needed this game, and it's better to get it now. And this is what I was saying earlier, I think last week. I was worried that they would just cruise through the schedule. They need one of these ass kickings, right? To be like, holy fuck, we got to get refocused. There was a lot of holes in the defense, and I think this was a perfect game to get smacked in the mouth. And it's early enough that it doesn't affect us in the standings that we needed this game, I think, personally.
The other thing I want to call out here on this list, Anthony, is Vander Esch will be gone.
Yeah, I said that too. He just does not look. He's just shell of his old self. He's not really doing too much. You know what I mean?
I don't necessarily agree with the Randy Gregory could be schemed against. That's not really. I don't think Randy Gregory was like had a big issue.
We got some imposter coming in here. What's he got? Like chicken strips?
He's your mini me. Ads mini me is in the house. What is it?
Cool.
He's got some chicken wings.
Oh, nice one.
Chicken wings with hot sauce. I'll come up and grab them in a bit.
Nice one.
So I don't think
All right, let's bring it back.
we'll bring it back. Randy Gregory. I don't think he was totally schemed against.
I thought Randy Gregory had an
a
alright
good
game. Yeah, I did too. Micah Parsons is a dude. Jaron brings some nastiness. There's so much parody in the NFL. He spelled parody wrong, but
The kicker's this last one here.
how we respond.
Yeah.
If we come out and lay another fucking goose egg to the Atlanta Falcons, who actually looked all right today against the Saints, doesn't matter. You need to come out next week and you need to fucking throttle whoever you're playing.
Yeah.
Well, here's the truth too. At this point in time, we can say, okay, we're playing an easy division compared to Denver.
Yeah, Denver's division's probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, did we get that? Was that exposed today? And that's the answer that needs to be,
If today it was like we said, a trend or
a learning.
Yeah, learning.
Got a lot of young guns out there on defense.
I would like to say, what the fuck was I going to say? It was about the game. I just went full on fucking blank mode. It doesn't matter.
You're going to say Micah Parsons is a dude?
Look,
Micah Parsons is a dude.
Yeah, so Micah Parsons totally had a great game.
Yeah, Parsons had a great
Lived
game.
up to his week 8 NFL rookie of the week.
2.5 sacks, baby.
Are we playing that right now?
Yeah,
He's coming. He's
2.5
bringing
sacks.
that heat.
Do we got some sound? I'd love when we got the sound. This one doesn't
I
have
don't
no
know. The
sound.
sound's not running on this one.
You're not playing the sound on.
Hang on.
On your computer.
So
Yeah, I'm up.
Micah Parsons, that was his first one, I believe, and we were still in the game. I thought he was one of the only guys. Another arm tackle, though. You know what I mean? He's an arm tackler, which is okay. I don't give a fuck how he gets the guy down. Just tackle, get them for a sack.
Well, in that sack, but here's another one of his big plays.
I like these alternate views.
Arm tackle, throw him out.
Yeah, the whip down.
The whip. I mean, he's a strong boy.
Oh, and he's fast, man. He's 250, runs a 4.3. That's a fucking brick wall running at you, man. He could hit you with his fucking ankle, and he's gonna take you down. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it doesn't matter what he's gonna hit you with. He's gonna take you down.
If you were to go back to that list that we were originally looking at, though, I think the biggest thing on here, we desperately need CB help. So I don't think our defensive backs played the way that they could be or should be.
Well, this is the weird thing because I feel like we've played against teams with better wide receivers, and I don't know. I think that this is my personal opinion. with why we got so exposed in the throwing game. They were running the ball so well, so we were in a lot of like putting 8 guys in the box and going to man.
Sure.
So there was a lot of man coverage this game where we haven't. I don't know if we've had to do that as much in other games, but I'd really noticed that we were really loading up to stop the run. And then when they did get the ball off at the time that there should have been a sack or play action, then they have the one-on-ones and they were just burning us.
And Teddy can slang the ball.
Yeah, Teddy had a good game, man. Nothing against Teddy Bridgewater. Denver came to play, man. They full on came to play. Dallas didn't score until what? Fucking 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So Dallas maybe kind of let up a bit. I don't know. We won't know more until we see next week. It's a shitty ass kicking. Nobody likes it. It's not fun to watch. It's not really that fun to live stream. The reason the live stream's been so fun is because we've been winning, and I'm going to work on that. I'm going to try to have fun even when we're getting our ass. Like this play here, I was just trying to be positive.
I know.
And then you show me this dog shit. Like this is just terrible. This is just, look at the 20 set. Like J-Ron, you're supposed to be this beast. You can't quit till the guy's on the ground.
Well,
watch all the guys start
Watch all
walking.
of the guys stop. Yeah.
All of them. Micah, J-Ron.
Everyone stopped.
Basham, they all stopped. Luckily, they got him, man.
I mean, look, that was a metaphor for today's game. Like
Denver was going for every yard, and Dallas just was kind of there.
Yeah, and I feel like, look, this is, and I didn't mean to do this, but if I was Lieutenant Dan, I would be showing this play and be like, "Hey guys,
yeah, this is just an effort. This is an effort. This is an effort play."
Well, so
the only guy giving effort is that fucking 77. Look at the O lineman for Denver, like.
You play to win the game.
You play till the whistle, man.
So just a moment here. Our chat's giving us some info.
Yep.
Kilo C saying that Dak Prescott post game saying this isn't who we normally are.
Yeah, that's Dak has to get out there and say that. That's what a leader does. I love seeing it.
Skip Bayless is saying is already calling Dak a 7.50 QB.
What?
I don't know. That's what JJ the mime said. I don't know.
Fuck Skip Bayless.
7.5 on a Richter scale? That's a lot.
That'll rock your world. Skip is such a fair weather, man. You know, he's just fair weather.
He is who he is. And look, the Cowboys, are they who people thought they were, or is this a shit game? I mean, it's going to be a terrible week of just anticipation.
This is what I wanted to say to you guys. You guys haven't been involved in this yet. Wait till you see the fucking media now. You just wait. You're going to hear it all week.
I can't listen. I can't wait for the media because I can already tell you what everybody's going to say. The Cowboys. I mean, obviously on Undisputed, Skip and Shannon are going to be going at it, and Shannon Sharp is going to say that this is the Cowboys. This is same old cowboy things that are coming up.
No, this is the Cowboys, okay? Because they're gonna.
And then Skip's gonna cry.
And then we're gonna hear everybody saying that Cowboys are showing shades of their former selves and all this bullshit.
Yeah, it's just.
I hear you, Shannon. I hear what you're saying.
I fucking hate Skip Bayless. I really do.
I hope he takes his shirt off and shows his jacked fucking 60-year-old man pecs.
Skip.
Look, when I get that old, I am not working out.
No, fuck that. I'm 34 and I'm not working out. So. What do we got up?
Okay.
So I figured
stats going.
I figured let's go through the stats and the biggest thing. I mean, God,
rushing.
Is this rushing? Like,
yeah.
We were watching the game, and it was the hardest thing to do is to watch both running backs
just rip it up.
And we've been on the other side of that fence. So like now we know how it feels. It sucks to have the number one or the 1A, 1B. In our case, it's more number one than number two. But with the Broncos, both Williams and Gordon just fucking now. Williams had a bunch of better runs, but
surprising that Gordon only had a 3.8 average. I mean,
know
not that really matters. He still put up 80 yards.
Well, I think he's he came in and did more of that heavy
lifting.
Yeah, whereas Williams came in and broke out. But regardless,
Williams is a little pinball though, eh? He's just like a little cannonball.
Oh God, yeah, I know that, and it's funny because traditional 1-2 backs is like, okay, we've got the power and speed, but with these guys, they're kind of like a hybrid of both.
Yeah.
Like they're a little strong fucking.
When Melvin Gordon's your maybe number 2 running back, that's a pretty good problem to have. Melvin Gordon with the Chargers was a fucking animal.
Well, I think we played against maybe the third best tandem. I'm still
one
considering.
Of them. Yeah, I'd say top 5 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 for sure. What was Zeke's? I'd like to see Zeke's stat line before, or you want to look at some receivers here?
Yeah, I just was looking at
Tim Patrick, game of his fucking life. Like, none of us could even name Tim Patrick, and I've had him on fantasy teams before.
How about Kendall Hinton in that fucking...
that 40-yarder? Fuck was that? That was brutal.
You're waiting for that.
This guy?
Is this going to be one of our sound bites?
It might be. I don't know if it's going to play, though.
I don't know where your sound's being tossed to because I'm not getting it anywhere here.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No. Okay.
What was Zeke's stat line? What did he finish with?
Let's go look at the Cowboys stats here. So we got Dak 232. You're never gonna see.
Hey, and this plays into the stat line of when Dak throws more than we run.
Well, look at this, dude. We didn't even run more than 16 times. We had 16 rushes, and Dak had 2 of them.
And I still think this is back to me saying, like, run it in situations. There was a lot of times in the first quarter, second quarter that I think they should have been running instead of Zeke had 5.1 yards a touch.
So that goes back to the one point that the guy was making on Twitter.
Twatter,
that KM just wasn't in his element.
Is
today.
it an audible? But you never know if it's an audible or
True.
if it's
Dak could be coming in and be like, Cooper Rush ain't audible and out of running plays and winning the game. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which does suck for us. It's also surprising that they kept Dak in all the way to the end.
I was actually surprised with that to TBH. Maybe Dak said, "You ain't taking me out." But I was surprised. They probably wanted to ride into next week with some sort of momentum. Like, imagine Dak gets pulled without any touchdowns thrown or any sort of offensive success. You know? Oh yeah, great website. So you're always worried about him getting hurt in a game that's essentially lost, but you also need him coming into next game with some confidence.
And let's just look at that 3rd down and 4th down efficiency for the Cowboys.
Just terrible.
It was not acceptable.
5 and 13. I think at one point it was like 1 and 9 or something. So
we could look at yards, we could break down yards, but the reality comes from a few plays actually. The punt was an unfortunate scenario.
Oh, what a weird fucking.
We got
weird play that was.
Yeah, so we had a blocked punt, but because the ball went past the line of scrimmage and bounced off of a Cowboys player.
Can we get that up?
Yeah,
grab that up.
Well, explain
so it was actually, I believe, the Broncos' first drive after the second, or in the second half. We had a huge Micah Parsons sack to force a 3 and out. So we're looking good. The Cowboys come flying in on this 4th down, block a punt. And it's actually Turner blocked that punt, I think.
Oh, hey, can you go back?
I think Turner blocked that punt. So Turner just had the game of his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We lost something here.
What?
I don't know. Whatever happened. We're back. And you got audio again, which is nice.
Well, I have audio.
So that was Turner who got it?
I don't know. We have to get it played back here.
Let me open this up. Let me gape my video for you.
Let's see. Gape it up.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's 17 that gets in here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Turner.
Yeah.
So Turner had, and then what a bad.
And then 2 TDs. Woo! He's getting fucked tonight.
All J-Lo had to do was get that ball there.
So what happened was, because this ball bounced right here and hit whoever 25 is.
Oh, 25. I thought it was 26. Yeah.
Now it's the
resets
equivalent of a punt that comes down and hits a guy, and then the team picks it up because it goes past. It's a fucked up rule because yes, it was blocked, but technically, I guess the ball is still in the air. It's still a punt. It's still called a punt here, even though it was blocked.
Yeah, here it's a fumble now.
Now it's a fumble. Yeah.
So here's my thing. If he wouldn't have touched it there and the Denver Broncos touch it, it's our ball.
It's our ball. Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
something that I wonder if that doesn't even get coached.
Well, and you can't coach reactions.
Yeah.
I don't think he.
So say that punt went backwards and then the Cowboys touched it and then fumbled it and the Broncos landed.
If he had touched it in front of the.
It's because it went ahead of the line of scrimmage.
It's still considered whether it goes 40 yards or 1 yard.
But if it went backwards, it's the Cowboys' ball no matter what.
Exactly. If he would have touched it on the other side of that line, then it never passed the line. Yeah.
That is, man, it like bounced on. Oh, that is so.
For for a guy like me,
What a weird
it
play.
really jacks me up to actually see this in football because like it's such
It's
an
something that
oddity.
never
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
I've never seen it happen. And I honestly, to me, this was the play of the TSN turning point,
Yeah.
Sports Center's turning point. Because I don't think they.
And
have
this came
TSN.
right after a big sack.
Yeah, Micah Parsons huge sack.
Micah Parsons' big sack. Then we thought we had the ball here, and actually we were lining up to run a play, and the guy fucking threw the flag like right before we called the play. If you remember.
No, that wasn't this.
No. Okay.
No, this just got called by the refs. The thing you were thinking of was when Patrick had the ball knocked out of his hands.
Right. And that turned out in our favor.
Yeah, this was shitty. This was a shitty play. Something I've never
it's
seen
football,
before.
baby.
It's football.
So
so
my
never seen it.
My only not my only question, and I guess I just answered it as I was thinking about it in my mind, was the fact that like they kick it, it touches our guys, then it goes to the Broncos. They don't get past the first down marker, but because it was supposed to be a punt, it
Doesn't need to.
classifies the punt rules.
It was a fumble.
It's always
So
a punt.
It was a punt. It went ahead of the line of scrimmage. Our guy touched the ball.
So
it's no different than if our returner catches the ball
Right.
way back and fumbles it.
I know, but like it's not I mean, what I'm getting at is it just seems odd that it's not passed.
Doesn't matter. Cowboys touched it. Cowboys have possessions. Now the Cowboys dropped it. So
Yeah.
now when the Denver Broncos get it, it's a brand new possession.
Which again,
The-
if we,
the-
but
the block-
hang on. If we look at the rules and
You think those NFL refs don't look at the rules?
when we look at the rules of like trying to when you have to receive, like you have to have complete control.
that guy
over a
could have.
catch.
That guy could have called a fair catch actually, and they wouldn't have been able as soon as
Exactly. Yes.
he could have technically called a fair
Could have
catch.
called a fair
So
catch.
the way you have to
and
look
that goes back to it. You can't teach someone reaction. That's a reactionary thing.
He's not even thinking about that.
The easiest way to answer your question, Adam, is as soon as the Cowboys touch the ball, that first down marker becomes obsolete. It's gone. The Cowboys have possession.
Now they have possession. Yeah.
As soon as that guy touches the ball and it goes out of his hand, the next team that gets it gets a first down.
Okay, so just to keep you into the chat, what's going on? Because I know you're not paid attention to the chat right now, Anth.
I can't see it.
JJ the mime says, "Can we just all acknowledge how a lot of really good teams lost today, guys? So I don't feel so bad."
No,
So-
and you're right. It's the NFL. Every week you're going against someone that's going to be. Look at the Buffalo Bills game today. They had a game against Jacksonville, and it's a close game. You can't look at the end. The main thing is the Cowboys are playing against a team out of their conference. They don't see the Broncos very often. They haven't beat the Broncos since 1995. Some weeks the other team is just going to have your number, and hopefully we've said this I think about 5 or 6 times now. Hopefully this was just a blip in the roadmap. Not a trend that all teams have to do is run on us, play action, and then you're never going to see Dak Prescott have a game like he had today again. I fucking guarantee you that.
I don't want to see him ever sulking on the side again. I want to see him Tom Brady up on his feet. Let's go! Yelling at his players and getting them motivated.
I think they needed that first touchdown earlier to get everyone.
Absolutely.
I think it was just a weird fucking game.
Couple other comments that we have in our chat just to keep you guys engaged. We got Kilo C's tossing in some nice quotes from post game reaction. CD Lamb says it was a weird day today. Yeah, just weird.
You know,
So,
we had
see-
that Halloween hangover, I think.
Yep. And then we also have Christopher James, who's showing up in the chat, says more Bronco fans at the game today than Cowboys fans.
It looked like it.
Very sad.
It is sad. And you know what the issue with this, and this is what I told you guys when I went to the Cowboys game before. Cowboys fans in Dallas are a little bit fair weather. They didn't think this was going to be a good game. So they
didn't
sold
show up.
they sold their fucking tickets to Broncos fans. That's such bullshit. Like, and it's the same thing when there's some stadiums like the Steelers and at Arrowhead with the Chiefs. A game like this, it's a sea of black and yellow or red, right?
Yeah.
People aren't giving up their tickets because they think it's going to be a shitty game. You got to show up. Every time they showed the crowd, it looked like a fucking Orange Crush had blown up.
Yeah.
Exactly. And listen, Cowboys fans, we're spending all of his son's school money to come down and to watch that damn game. So you better show up.
I'm hoping
in droves.
'cause- I'm
because we
hoping-
don't want to get beat up by fucking Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm
fans.
hoping because it's like a Thanksgiving Day game and it should be a pretty close game that a lot of it's like at least 70-30 for Cowboy. Because every time I've went, it's been at least 50-50.
Okay.
There's two. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say one last comment from the chat.
Yeah.
EJ Savage, great name by the way, says an underrated point is that Lawrence is one of our, if not best, run defenders too.
And he's not
he
even
is.
here. Yeah,
Oh,
when's he come back? When's he back?
Beware of D-Law. D-Law is a fucking tank.
When's he back?
He's got to be coming up soon.
Yeah, that's a good point because I've
D-Law's
always
good at run stuffing.
No, and I've always felt like is D-Law a linebacker?
No, D-end.
Okay, well, shit. Anyways,
He plays the same.
No.
He plays the same.
We
He's the same
definitely
position as Randy Gregory.
we feel light in that. I know that we've had some good games. It just feels like shit. Like maybe, I guess that was the reason that we could let go of Smith was because we do have. I know they're not playing the same position. He's playing linebacker, but we've been rotating.
You know
Micah
why?
Parsons,
You know why
let's
they
say.
got rid of Smith? Because he's not a good football player.
Okay.
the same reason the Green Bay Packers
Got rid of him. He's just not a good football player.
so
anymore.
So outside of the Jalen talk, we definitely came into this game thinking it was going to be a layup.
Yeah, and I think maybe the players thought that, and that's why I think a good kick in the dick might be what the Cowboys needed to get back focused.
Yeah.
Next week against Atlanta, if we have the same thing, if it's even close, like if we don't win by more than 2 touchdowns, I think we have a problem on our hands. And I don't really like our defense matching up against Atlanta's offense. Atlanta has a pretty decent offense.
Well, we got to do a better job than this and let our defense rest because we only had the possession for 1/3 of the game.
Not going to help. No, that won't help.
No,
That won't help.
and it showed, right? Like I'll say it again. Even the Dak himself looked defeated, of course, but when they were showing just the close-ups of the players on the field, they all had it wasn't a positive look or like an even anger. They weren't even angry. It was like, fuck, we can't stop these guys, basically. Right. And you know what? Take it as it is. Eat shit this game. Get embarrassed. Go to the drawing board and come back and don't let that shit happen again. You kind of made a point a few times. It's like, let them, maybe the running game's different, but like, fucking hang back. Let them get the first down and don't let them get the touchdown rather than trying to make a play to stop them from, like, if we're not set up in a defensive, what's the fucking called position? Like
Scheme,
a defensive scheme that's going to have that protection, then just fucking play back, right? Like, I don't know. There was a lot of plays like that where we let big holes go, and a lot of it was with the running game too.
The last stats that I think matter, you kind of touched on it with the 3rd down and 4th down efficiency. Look at the 4th downs, 0-4.
Ugh.
We were 0-4 on 4th downs.
They only had one.
They only had one, but I mean, usually because you're punting, right? But on 4th down, we didn't even, like, for it to be worth going for it on 4th down, you need to be getting at least, I'd say at least 50%. And that's not even that good either. Like, I'd say probably 60 to 70%. And then the other one is sacks allowed. We got sacked 4 times, or no.
Twice.
Twice. So that's not too bad. It felt like we got sacked more.
In penalties, we did a lot better.
Time of possession and 4th down efficiency. Look at the time of possession. That's terrible.
That's bad.
Okay, so what do we got for final thoughts, gentlemen?
Final thoughts. I don't even know if we really need to dive into them. We need to basically think it's going to take us next week's game to see how bad this is going.
Is this real or is this a dream?
Yeah, like it might just be a fucking correction. You know, we play the Falcons, we win, everything's hunky dory. If we play the Falcons and we lose, get ready to feel what it's like to be Cowboys fans, boys, because we will see a sea of fucking shit thrown at us.
I'm not in this for the fame and glory. I'm in this to be a diehard Cowboys fan.
Cowboys beat Falcons.
Cowboys are going to beat.
It's another 10 a.m. game. 10 a.m. game.
Okay, so
10 a.m. game.
I need you to come correct next week. I can't have you come hungover. If you're gonna wake up a little early. Shotgun some beers, vape it up, and then come to this game where I'm
gonna go buy a new vape, and I'm bringing it, and I'm vaping in studio.
In studio next week. That's what we've been asking for.
Hey, so we got the Falcons versus Cowboys, 10 a.m. next week. Then we got the Cowboys and Chiefs, and then so the worst we can be is 6-4,
and then the one that we're gonna be
going into our Raiders game.
For those of you that are in the Dallas area or greater
Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex.
We are your boys. We're going to be live on location for America's Thanksgiving to see America's team Stomp those motherfucking Raiders. And you know what? I'll make a commitment right now. I will not wear my Raiders hat from now until after the game.
I'd fucking hope so.
I'm switching up jerseys next game too.
Yeah.
TP20.
We have to. I'm gonna rock jersey next week.
Okay, so this the best thing about this game is the fact that Anth was allowed to get out of his Mike McCarthy outfit, and he's now able to douse in something that
Some Jersey Nation.
he can actually jersey it up with. So for the bandwagon boys and Anth Best, this is our post week for this week.
We'll be back Wednesday, bitches.
Wednesday. See you next.
What up? How about the boys? The Dallas Cowboys, that is.